Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins value in market. First up, 1970 for Washington quarter might seem like just another coin from the past, but for collectors and enthusiasts, this seemingly ordinary quarter holds stories of rarity, value, and the intricate world of numismatics. Minted over 800 million times in 1974. The Washington quarter was produced in 3 U.S. mints: Philadelphia Low-mintage, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Despite the high mintage, certain factors can make specific coins from this year exceptionally valuable. Coin value isn't just about age. It's about condition. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better quality. A coin's grade significantly influences its market value in fine F12 condition. A 1970 for Washington quarter typically holds a value between $100. However, this can vary based on mint mark and specific characteristics. While most 1970 for quarters remain modest in value, rare specimens have seen significant appreciation. For example, a 197 for D quarter in MS67 condition was sold at auction for $1,450, highlighting the potential for high-grade coins to command premium prices. While the 1970 for Washington quarter may not be the rarest in the series, its unique variants and potential for discovery make it a fascinating piece for any collector. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual enthusiast, exploring the world of 1970 for quarters offers a glimpse into the rich tapestry of American coinage. Next up, the Washington quarter. More specifically, we're focusing on the 1993 quarter with the D mint mark, and what makes this particular coin valuable in today's market, especially in a very fine condition. Now, you might be wondering, the 1993 quarter? Isn't that just another common quarter you find in your pocket or the coin jar? Well, yes and no. The Washington quarter series has been produced since 1932, and while many years are quite common, certain details like mint marks, minting errors, or the coin's condition can significantly impact value. Let's start with some basics. The 1993 Washington quarter features the classic profile of George Washington on the obverse side, designed by John Flanagan. The D mint mark indicates this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. That year, millions of these quarters were produced, making it a fairly common date overall. Specifically, the Denver Mint struck about 575 million quarters in 1993. That's a huge number. So generally, a 1993 D quarter is not rare by itself. However, when we talk about coin collecting, condition and specific varieties can change everything. Now, what about condition? You've probably heard coin collectors talking about grading terms like good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, and mint state. So, what does very fine or VF mean? A very fine condition means the coin shows moderate wear on the high points, but still retains a lot of detail. The lettering, date, and mint mark are clear and easy to read. On a 1993 quarter, this would mean that while the coin has been circulated and shows some smoothing on George Washington's hair and cheek, the overall design remains distinct. So, here's the big question. How much is a 1993 D quarter worth? In very fine condition, the short answer, usually these coins are worth about face value to a bit more because they're so common. But if you find a 1993 D quarter in very fine condition, it might be worth a couple of dollars to the right collector or dealer based on recent market data. A 1993 D quarter in very fine condition can range roughly between $300. It's not going to break the bank, but if you have a lot of these coins in VF or better, they can add up. Collectors who focus on completing sets of Washington quarters might pay a slight premium for clean, well-preserved coins. Errors like doubling on the date or mint mark, or striking errors, can make a coin worth much more, sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars if the error is dramatic and rare. Unfortunately, most 1993 D quarters are standard strikes without errors, but it's always worth checking carefully. So, Should you hold on to your 1993D quarters in very fine condition, or cash them in? For most collectors, these quarters are valuable as part of a collection, but not typically lucrative individually. If you're a casual collector, keeping a few nice examples is a good idea. If you find errors or exceptionally high-grade examples, those might be worth a closer look by a professional grader. Next up, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, specifically in extra fine condition. First, a little background. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. It features George Washington on the obverse and has gone through several design changes over the decades. The 1967 quarters are particularly interesting because they're part of the no-mint-mark era during the late 1960s. So, what does no-mint-mark mean? From 1965 through 1967, the US Mint stopped placing mint marks on coins to discourage coin collectors from hoarding the coins and causing shortages during a coin shortage period. Therefore, quarters from these years, including 1967, don't have a mint mark, regardless of whether they were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Most 1967 quarters are common because they were minted in large quantities, with over 600 million struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints combined. But what can make a 1967 quarter valuable isn't rarity, it's condition. If you have a 1967 quarter in average circulated condition, it's typically worth just its face value or slightly more, maybe $250.00 to a dealer. But if you have one in extra fine, or even better, mint state condition, that's where the value begins to climb. Coins graded as extra fine, often abbreviated as EF or XF, show only slight wear on the highest points. For a 1967 quarter, that means sharp details on Washington's hair and the eagle on the reverse are still visible and well-defined. But you might see light wear on the raised surfaces. Collectors love EF coins because they're well-preserved, but still affordable compared to mint state examples. And since the 1967 quarter is a 90% silver coin from the era just before the switch to clad coins, its silver content alone gives it some base value. Now, let's talk numbers. As of 2025, the market value of a 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition generally ranges from about $340 depending on demand and silver prices. So, if you're a collector looking for a 1967 quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition, is a great way to add some silver and history to your collection without breaking the bank. And if you're selling, make sure to get your coin professionally graded or at least have it evaluated by a trusted coin dealer. Grading can significantly impact the final sale price. Also, check for any errors or varieties. Sometimes small minting mistakes can increase value considerably, but those are rare for this particular year and coin type. To sum up, the 1967 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark isn't rare, but if you find one in extra fine condition, it's definitely worth more than just its face value, thanks to its silver content and collectible appeal. Next up, the Washington quarter from 1982 with a P mint mark. Specifically, we'll explore its value in fine condition and what makes this seemingly ordinary coin quite special in today's market. So if you've got a handful of quarters from the early 80s, this video is definitely for you. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932. The 1982 quarter, minted in Philadelphia, indicated by the P mint mark, is a common year in the series, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye. While most 1982 quarters aren't particularly rare, certain factors like condition, mint errors, and collector demand can significantly influence their value. So, what does the P stand for? That's right, Philadelphia, the original US Mint. City. Coins from Philadelphia usually don't carry a mint mark until the 1980s. So the 1982 P is notable because it's among the first quarters from Philadelphia to consistently bear the mark. Now, let's talk about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state. Fine condition means the coin shows moderate wear, but all major details like George Washington's profile, the date, and the lettering are clear and distinct. It's a popular grade among collectors because it strikes a balance between rarity and affordability. So, what's the market value today? For a standard 1980 to P quarter in fine condition, the value mostly comes from its silver content, or does it? Actually, starting in 1965, Washington quarters switched from 90% silver to a copper-nickel-clad composition. That means the 1980 to quarters do not contain silver. Because of this, most 1980 to quarters, even in fine condition, are worth about face value, or slightly more to collectors who want to fill a collection. In fact, these coins typically sell for around 250.00 each in fine condition. Not a big jackpot, right? Look out for mint errors, like double dies, die cracks, or off-center strikes. These rare mistakes can boost the value of your quarter to several dollars or even more. Unfortunately, these era coins are pretty scarce and require expert grading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1980 to P quarter, smash that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and drop a comment below. You have any coins you want me to research next? Happy hunting, and remember, sometimes the smallest coins hold the biggest surprises.